Millions of children use the internet regularly, be it for schooling or perhaps gaming, but are not aware of the related risks. Now, experts are warning of the dangers that the children are exposed to, such as bullying, exploitation and online violence. Social Kids South Africa is a program dedicated to guide and protect children under the age of 11 as they navigate the online world. To chat more on this, I'm joined by co-founder Cheryl Barnett. Cheryl, a pleasure to have you on the program this afternoon. So as you'd know, many children usually have devices such as cell phones in their hands. So with the prevalence of digital devices in children's lives today, what motivated you to really found this Social Kids South Africa program and develop the kind of program focused on digital safety for children?
Thank you so much for having me on the show. I really appreciate the opportunity to share the news that there is a need to teach our children digital literacy. How this all came about was really to protect our own son. So I've been in the digital world for a few years. I've worked in various industries, and I've been a mom for a very long time. My stepdaughter is 26 and my son is 8. 2 years ago, my son stole my phone to play a game instead of being with the family. And that's what kind of kicked this all off. We just thought to ourselves, are we doing enough to teach our young children about how to navigate this space? You know, they're young, they're gullible, they trust a phone. Why shouldn't they? A phone has been with them since the day they were born. So we took the opportunity to really look at all the different elements so we can educate and develop healthy habits from a young age, allowing children to understand that there's good and there's bad. And that's really where Social Kids was born, to protect our own son and other children like him. The digital world is not going anywhere, and online maturity is happening at a younger and younger age. So we have an opportunity here to teach them the right way to surf and to show them that it's good to think before you click.
I want to take from the UNICEF SA Kids Online study, which really highlights that while 95% of children in South Africa use the internet regularly, many are unaware of the risks that they face online. So how does the Social Kids program then aim to bridge this gap in awareness and also empower children to navigate the online world?
So we've created a little character called Cody Crawler, and he takes children through 5 online adventures with his best friend, Miss Nadie. And we go through the tips on being smart online. So what information should you share online? Should you be chatting to someone online? No. What is privacy? What is a reputation? How do you spot a cyberbully? And what is a safe site? What to look out for? We're also trying to teach kids how to game safely and create that self-awareness that, okay, I've played for a long time now, let me step back and play outside or tell a story with my friend face-to-face instead of online. We don't believe any child under 13 should be on social media. It's not the right space for them. So we're trying to teach children to balance their time at that young age, and we believe by doing that, as they go into their teens, it will become a natural habit. The fact is that predators and scammers are not going to stop. And now with AI, they can cast their web far and wide, and they don't know an age limit. They'd rather hook a child in early while they're young, and then that child is stuck. So what we can do is we can make it harder for them to succeed because our children will be wiser to it. They won't be as open to accepting that download file or taking that picture for somebody.
Right.
We feel it's essential stage in their lives where they'll actually listen and where they can actually start practicing those habits. We're not saying don't put your kids in front of YouTube. We're not saying don't put your kids in front of a mobile game. But what we are saying, and our parent guides help guide parents through the process, download a kiddie-friendly browser, do the game with them, ensure you've set the right boundaries from an early age. Then as they become teens, it won't be such a fight.
Let's expand on your last point. I want you to walk us through the curriculum that you offer from Social Kids program, particularly the 5 adventure levels. How do these levels address key aspects of digital safety and literacy as well for young children?
So we go through the tips on how to be safe online, so what information is right to share, and then a major theme throughout all of our adventures is a circle of trust and a wise old croc. UNICEF's reports also identified, wait for it, communication as a major pillar to fight online abuse and online violence. 70% of children will not share with their parents what they see or experience online, and that is where the problem is. So one of the major pillars through all 5 adventures is talk to your circle of trust. Know that there's one person, that you are special, your name is special. Then we go into what is a cyberbully, how to identify them, and how to get away from them. We also go into what is a fake site. Misinformation is forming opinions and the way our children are thinking, and that's not right. We want our children to think for themselves and to check their facts. So we teach them that Google's not always right, and it's good to check your facts and double check with mom and dad. Safe gaming, have a secret password so you know you're talking to your friend, or even better, don't talk online. So those are, and as well as online manners. So what do certain symbols mean, and how you can, what your online reputation represents for you. We even show them an algorithm. So when you search for bad stuff will follow you. So rather look for the good and kind in the things that you're interested in.
But Cheryl, cyberbullying, fake news and privacy concerns are also quite significant challenges, especially for young internet users. How does Social Kids then equip children with the skills and the knowledge to really recognize and respond to these threats effectively?
So by them being able to identify that not all the news is right or true, and for them to know what a safe site looks like and that it's good to check their facts, they can immediately step back and take action to think for themselves that actually maybe this isn't true. I think there's a misunderstanding out there that whatever they see online, I mean, even my own son says to me, Mom, I think I'm going to check that with Google. So they're really comfortable with the fact that the online world is always right, and there's no repercussions when you're playing a game. You just restart and do again. So it's important for children to have that balance between I need to have my face-to-face time with my friends, as well as have a little bit of online gaming time, but to step back. So Cody teaches children to count, to time themselves when they're on a game and to take the time to step back. He gives them alternatives to do instead of playing an online game. And after each adventure level, they have to finish an activity. And this activity helps us determine their understanding of the topic. Once they finish that activity, they are then awarded a digital badge. Then once they've collected all the digital badges, they get a certificate of achievement for being a global surfer. So purely educating them and making sure that parents are also educated through the parent guides, they will start the journey together. And that's what it's all about. That's what makes Social Kids so special in our mind. We're bringing the child and the parents together to do the online journey so they can talk and share and go through the exercises.
So Cheryl, from what I gather, parental involvement is also quite crucial in guiding children's online behavior. Could you elaborate on the parent guides provided by Social Kids and how they support parents in fostering a safe digital environment for their children?
No problem. Look, nobody knows their child better than the parents. So what the parent guides are all about is hours of global best practice research. Parents don't have time to sit and research to give them the tools to go ahead and support their children through their journey or to guide them through their journey. We've done it for them. We've packaged it in a lovely PDF. Some of the PDFs are a little bit long because we literally say, this is how you set your settings on an Xbox. This is how you set your privacy settings here. So they vary, and we've laid them out in a way that you will find something that is relevant to you quite quickly. The parent guides are a great way for parents to understand where their children are and to ask the right questions, suggest a different game. We have to lead by example. So it also means that sometimes we need to unplug. That child sees that cell phone in our hands all the time. So for them, they should trust it. They should have full access to it. So it's also a good opportunity for parents to unplug a little and spend that time with their little ones.
So in your experience, how receptive have parents been to initiatives such as yours? And what feedback have you received regarding not only the impact of the program, but also its effectiveness on children and their families?
So far the feedback has been great. every child has a different level of online maturity, so it might not be for every child, especially if they've been playing online games and YouTubing. You know, the older they are, the more in-depth they get and the more tricks they learn than parents. But so far the feedback has been very positive. It started an opportunity for parents and child to talk together. We've rolled out in a few schools as well, and the schools have given us great feedback on the fact that the kids are running around the field going, think before you click. And quite frankly, that's actually all a child needs to remember is they are special and they must be careful with what they share online. So we've also had some people go, somebody didn't like Cody. Yet 2 weeks later, I had that mommy phone me and say, you won't believe it. He came home furious because somebody took a picture of him without his permission. And that is what we want. We want our children to understand that they have rights and they need to be smarter when they're online.
So digital literacy is increasingly recognized as a vital skill for children's future success. How do programs such as yours then contribute to building this literacy from a young age, and what long-term benefits do you foresee for participants?
So the long-term benefits are, one, a better relationship with technology, that you are able to step away and you do understand that there are dangers that lurk online. We obviously don't want to scare children, but the truth is not everybody online is real or have good intentions. Number two, the better relationship, the ability to identify if something doesn't feel right. So for us, that is a big win. And the confidence that they can talk, say no, report and block. And that for me is the major benefit for anybody going through the Social Kids program.
So as technology continues to evolve, Cheryl, how does Social Kids then adapt its curriculum to address emerging digital threats and trends, and also ensuring that it remains relevant and also effective?
I tell you, I don't get a lot of sleep.
Yeah.
So it means a lot of updating, a lot of checking that our facts are still right, and keeping up with global trends. AI is a real fear for our children. They may be thinking they're talking to another kid, but in fact they could be talking to a robot who behind it is a master manipulator who's got other plans. There are scammers out there that physically target children, knowing that they'll click on something which will download malware and put their security at risk. So we have to keep up to date, and we do keep up to date. So we update the curriculum on a yearly basis, and we're busy updating it right now.
Cheryl, thank you so much for your time. That's Cheryl Barnett. She's the co-founder of Social Kids SA.